Well, the sites have been selected for the homeless resource centers, but one of the things we're working on right now as a city and a council is what kinds of conditions we might want to put on the zoning around those resource centers. We're particularly interested in what people in the public think about concerns we might have to address when we're placing these. For example, we're looking at restrictions on things like the number of people who can be in a resource center, maybe how they're buffered against other neighborhood uses, whether or not there's security, and there are a lot of factors that can go into the design around these centers that we're hoping will reduce the impact to the neighborhoods where they're located. And we're looking at starting our architectural designs, and some of that is in process. And at the same time, we're creating a zone for these resource centers that doesn't currently exist in the city. Once the zone is created, the design will be finalized, and construction could start as early as midwinter or early spring, depending on the weather. And we're hoping to have some of these services up and running in the next 18 months. The homeless resource centers is a very different model than what we're currently or historically have experienced for homeless centers. The services we provide now, if you think about the road home, are shelters, and they're truly emergency shelters. It's where people go when they don't have anywhere else to go. A resource center is a very different concept. The idea of a resource center is temporary shelter while people are working to get back on their feet and back into housing. And so it's very much a transitional kind of model that is deliberate about trying to help people get back into a housing unit. So some of the comments we've already heard are potential restrictions on the number of people who can be in a unit or in one of these centers, maybe some setbacks from adjacent properties, whether or not there's an entrance that's easy to see or design around, perhaps some buffering between the centers and other properties in the neighborhood. There are a lot of factors that can be considered in the site design, and that's what we're looking for from the public right now. What do you think would help mitigate any impact that these could potentially have in a neighborhood? So the city has a process for evaluating what kinds of conditions we might want to put on some of this zoning, but we really want to hear from residents, in particular those in the neighborhoods where these sites are located, but from all across the city as well. And so we're having some public hearings in a public process, so everyone's welcome to come and speak to the city council during a public hearing. We also are happy to receive comment either by email or phone or on our website. There are lots of opportunities to provide input to the city.